Hello, I am Miss Sarah from Oxford Library, and today in this video I am going to show you how to make these very cute winter hats. Okay, so the materials for this craft are available in our December take-home kit, available here at the library all throughout the month of December. So if you haven't already, come pick one up, free materials, everything you need is going to be in that kit. Otherwise, keep watching and follow along step by step as we make these little hats together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have our cardboard rings ready. So this is how we're going to start. If you are not using the materials provided in the kit, you're just watching this video to learn how to do it, you are going to need, I provided 31 pieces of yarn at 10 inches in length. So 10-inch length, 31 yarn. So the first thing actually we're going to do is once we make sure we have our cardboard ring, we're going to set aside one of those strands of yarn because we're going to be using that later. So now for our cardboard ring, we're going to be using 30 strands of yarn. I'm going to take my first strand of yarn. I'm using red. I think you guys have kind of multicolored ones in your kit. But we're going to just fold it in half so that the ends meet, they're even, just like that. Then what I'm going to do is, keeping it folded in half, I'm going to put it through my cardboard tube, and then I'm going to put my loose ends through the loop I made up here. And then I'm going to pull real tight. Okay? So when you pull tight enough, that's actually going to just stay in place without you having to hold it. And we're going to do that until our whole cardboard ring is covered. So I'll show you another one. Take your yarn, fold it in half so the ends meet. We're going to put our we're going to put our strand of yarn through the ring. Okay. Here's my loop. Here are my loose ends. I'm going to take my loose ends and pull them through the loop here at the top. And I'm just going to pull real tight and make sure that they're sitting together. Okay? So I suggest doing this so that way you make all of the little knots on the same side. You don't want knots up here and then at the bottom too. So that's why I always pull the loop through the top and then pull my loose ends through that way. So we're going to do this for all 30 strands until our whole ring is covered. So as you can see, I have all of my cardboard tube covered in our yarn. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the yarn up here, my loose ends, and I'm actually going to pull them through the tube. So that way all of our knots that we created are going to be down here at the bottom. Okay, and mine might look a little bit shorter than yours, so I'm kind of going out of order when I make this video, but it's essentially the same thing. Okay, so now it kind of looks like a little jellyfish, right? But we're gonna turn it around to hold it like this. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that string that we set aside earlier, our piece of yarn, and a little bit above the middle, we're going to tie all of our loose ends together. Okay, so I'm just wrapping mine around like this. I think that's a good spot, and I'm just going to tie it. But the thing with tying them is that you have to make sure that you're doing it really tight. Okay, so I'm going to really pull. I'm going to do multiple knots to make sure nothing comes loose. I like to do 3, but you're probably good at 2, as long as they're really tight. Okay? And you also want to make sure that you've done it low enough that everything comes through. And if not, that's okay. You can pull it through like I'm doing. Okay? So it's a little bit above the middle, all tied together, and I'm just going to cut off my ends. Just like that. Perfect. So our next step is we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to kind of cut our loose ends up here that we tied together to make our little pom-pom. So I like to go a little section at a time. You don't need to do, these also aren't the best scissors for it. But you don't want to cut just a straight line because then it'll just be a straight line. But you want to make it to where everything is kind of different and do a little curve to make a little dome shape. So that way it kind of looks like a puffball at the top of a winter hat. So you can see mine's kind of taking shape here. I'm going to keep cutting until I have it looking just the way I want it. Watch your fingers while you do it. This is kind of the messiest part of this whole thing. And then I'm just going to also kind of just fluff it out. And it looks like a little pom-pom. The very last step for your winter hat is you're going to take the fluff provided in your kit, just a little bit of stuffing, and we're just going to stuff it in our hat to kind of help keep the shape of it, keep the little dome shape. So that way it looks rounded off even without a head being on top. And there you go. That is how you make the yarn winter hat. Pretty cool. I hope you had fun making our winter hats. I think they're so cute and you can really put them on whatever you'd like. Maybe a Barbie doll or just have them as decoration around the house. It's really whatever your imagination can come up with. So again, if you haven't already, come pick up a December take-home kit. All the materials you'll need are in there, as well as materials for other activities. And otherwise, we'll see you at the library. Bye!